Good Erev Shabbos and good Erev Yom Tov, everybody. As we get ready for Rosh Hashana this year, can't help but think about how different it's going to be than any other Rosh Hashanah than any of us has ever experienced. And in some ways, I felt it was kind of depressing in a way that here we are, we're all going to be intense and in the shul, very social distancing from each other. And we won't have the same experience of the beauty of Rosh Hashanah as we did in the past. And I was thinking about the story written in a book called No Hero by Mark Owen. Mark Owen was a former Navy SEAL, and he wrote another book called No Easy Day, in which he talks all about that he was on the mission to kill Osama bin Laden. And in the book, so Mark Owen tells the story that when he was training to be a Navy SEAL, he had to climb this mountain. And he's climbing up the mountain, and he gets to the point where he feels like, that's it. I just can't go on anymore. This is the end. I can't take another step. He said his footholds, he couldn't see his footholds anymore, where he's going to put his hands. He was so tired. He started looking around. He saw the Las Vegas, he saw the desert and the lights. He was all so high up, and he's just ready to let go and be finished. He just doesn't see how he could go on. And there's an instructor there, and he has a friend, Jeff. So the instructor screams up to him and says, "What's the matter?" So Mark says, I can't go on anymore. I just can't do this anymore. I'm finished. This is it." So the instructor said something to him. He said that completely changed his life. He said, "Look, Jeff is not going to be able to help you. He's not going to be able to come down and help you. And I certainly cannot not help you." So he said to him, he says, the key to this and the key to life is to always stay within your 3-foot world. If you stay within your 3-foot world and don't think about anything else besides that 3-foot world, you'll be able to get through this challenge. And he said he went on to complete the challenge and many, many other things, always worrying every time he felt like it was too much, that he always remembered that he has to stay within his 3-foot world. When I think about this story, I think about what are the takeaways from this story? Like, what things can we do to make this a reality, this 3-foot world story? And there's the 3 things that one could focus on in order to make this come home. The first thing is attitude. How do we behave? What is our attitude in life? When you look at the Torah reading for Rosh Hashana, so we read, in the Haftorah, we read the story of Hannah. And we talk about it within the davening of Rosh Hashana, the story of Hannah. Hannah had the right attitude. Even though nobody else believed that she could have a child, nobody else really believed in her and what her dreams were, yet she believed in it. She had the right attitude. She felt she could make this dream happen and have not only have a child, but have a child who's going to become a leader of the Jewish people. And by having that dream, even though everybody else gave up on it, her husband gave up on it, Eli gave up on it, everybody gave up on it, but she had that great attitude that she was going to make this happen. And therefore, it did happen. We could control our attitude. We can make it look, this may not be the perfect Rosh Hashanah that we have, but we can make this Rosh Hashanah a special Rosh Hashanah, one that's going to change us forever. The second thing that we could focus on is planning. Every year I talk about doing a cheshbon nefesh, especially during the 10 days of Tshuva. What is a cheshbon nefesh? Cheshbon nefesh is a plan. Have a plan. This is what I showed in last week's video with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that if you don't have a plan to where you're going, you'll never get there. You can't get to a place without a plan to know where you're going. We have to start and plan out what we want in life. And we have plenty of time it's going to be shortened davening. We have time to think about our plan. Where do we want to go in this world? It's a new world. A new world has opened up to us, and for good or bad, it's changed. That's the reality. So we should have the good attitude and say we could now have possibilities that we may never had before. Where do we want to go with those possibilities? How are we want to change? And finally, the last thing is that what small steps, or maybe even big steps, but what steps can we take every single day to help us reach that goal? What kind of things should we be doing? And it could be small things. For sure, it could be things like I want to be more involved in chesed. I want to be more involved with people, helping people. I have a lot to give of myself, and I would like to help people and find people who need the help that I can give. And maybe that's just starting with a few phone calls or volunteering for our chesed committees that we have. There's so much need. I've heard so many amazing stories where people just were offered to do like one or two things for somebody and then developed an amazing relationship with other people. It could be with our family members, where I'm going to spend every Erev Shabbos, I'll make one phone call to a family member and just catch up to where we are. It doesn't have to be big things, but it should be consistent things. We should try to find things that we could do on a consistent basis to try to get to our goal. And if we just keep in mind every single day when we look at our plan and say, what have I done today? What one thing have I done today to help me reach my goal? And that will go a long way. We're now going to be at home for much of the Chagim, not like in the past where we're in shul. We have time to talk and spend time with our families and talk about our life's goals. It shouldn't be something that's just for us. Maybe it should start with us and thinking about it, but we should share the goal. Maybe get somebody to do the goal with. If you have somebody to help you and push you, it shows more and more that the research shows that you'll be able to accomplish this goal. So on behalf of Congregation Or Torah, I want to wish you and your family a Chag Sameach, that it should be a great 5781. And also on behalf of Congregation Or Torah, I want to thank the many people who have made Or Torah a success. So many people who work hard to make things happen, like David Goldstein, our president, who's done so much for the congregation in his tenure. Jay Goldberg, who's always there working on Kiddush or whatever is needed, always taking care of the things around. You have Robert Grossberg, Mark Rebenow, Alav Shalom was so much. Rabbi Grossberg is always worrying about the Gabois and so on. So many people who work hard, and even in the davening, we have so many people who stepped up to volunteer. We have so many people, the sisterhood, a lot of people. And I want to thank them all from the bottom of my heart for doing all that they can to make West Orange the beautiful community that it is. And I hope that every single one of you will take the time this year to include volunteering, whether it's for Or Torah or for the West Orange community, or just to help somebody else, to make that a part of your year as well. Again, I wish you and your family a Shana Tova U'Metuka.